This is our first day of shooting after the lockdown, out all day like this. And not you know, we drove a lot, we found a place to sleep. We forgot to mention we found our camp.
Feel some fat raindrops coming down, but ooh, the sun is gonna break out though.
That'll be amazing.
It's gonna be right there.
We have the big daddy of all the lenses, the 400, and it's really easy and nice.
So when was the last time you used the lens?
Exactly, really a year ago when we first rented it, and I realized it's a supreme lens, and I bought it a year later now for this trip. Is the first time I'm trying it. It really needs a tripod or a monopod. In my case, I prefer the monopod. And then I raise it to like eye level, which is nice. And then you want to take a nice wide stance because you don't want to get tired, right? And the lens has a lock, which is nice. There, and it already through my Fujifilm viewfinder, it looks like art. But you can relax kind of with it right here. And even just hold it like this. It's in a way the Zen art of shooting. It's not something that is like a mechanical activity so much. You have to know how to slow down a lot.
So Martin just discovered the reason why I got this monopod in particular, because there's lots out there to choose from, but not only does it have his initials on it already, but it is one of the longest monopods out on the market. And so I knew that he was going to need that given his height, because that is almost taller than me actually, so I'm not using it at that height, but for him, he really needs the tallest monopod out there.
And this is cool because I can raise it right to eye level, and then I don't hurt my neck all day shooting like this. So it's kind of like I'm actually relaxing with it. You want to achieve the same kind of soft and relaxed ability that you would have in like Tai Chi or something, like a slow type of exercise almost. And it's similar because you're breathing and minimizing motion and doing things slowly, right?
And when you're looking for monopods, it's also a good idea to get one with feet if you plan on shooting video or being static for a long time, because those feet, you know, they're not quite tripod strong, so you don't want to like leave your gear unattended, but when you're shooting, it just helps give you more stability so you can relax more and not have to use your body to really stabilize that monopod.
Yeah. Let's see the Sony Canon user react to this Fuji experience.
The other thing that I first noticed actually was how great this monopod was at quickly adjusting, because if you're going to be sharing a camera, which you should have a collective experience that you're both having, but you have to be able to adjust the equipment to someone else's height. So that was really nice. Yeah, now that I'm here using this, oh, it's so great, like panning, like side to side and up and down. Here, I'll start recording and I'll kind of show you what I'm looking at. And yeah, it's such a great experience to use this monopod. This monopod really gives you like nice stability. And so yeah, like I can feel how my hands would normally be shaking if I was like filming like this, and how the monopod is like responding and trying to help me out. And I'm seeing it live in the LCD and it's just amazing. It looks so great.
What do you think about the view color, the viewfinder and the color that you're seeing, and with this lens, the zoom and everything else?
Looks better than real life in a lot of ways. It's like looking at art. So we have this thing where we notice that a lot of professional photographers, videographers, they say that you have to shoot raw, shoot flat. But the problem with that is that as you're looking at, you know, your scene and making your video, it's just not inspiring to look at. And so this way, and you have to spend more time in post-production grading it and adding the color. But Fuji does it all for you in camera. And that is so valuable because it keeps you inspired to keep shooting when you're looking at art. It's just amazing. I can see all the little grains on the flowers. It's so cool.
Yeah, right.
It's detail you can't normally see.
It's far out there, yeah. This is, right now you're shooting at the equivalent of 600 millimeters on a full frame.
That's ridiculous. And we're not carrying all that much stuff with us, you know? And we're still getting like amazing 4K video.
And we hiked here, really.
Oh, we have a dust spot though.
No, lame.
Yeah. That's, did you have a rocket blower?
No, I don't think so.
Gotta always have a rocket blower with you.
Try to find out. Part of the thing that you want to watch out for when you're shooting nature is that it might rain on you any second. So I have my water resistant body, water resistant lens, and my shoes are quick dry, my pants are water repellent and quick dry, and so is my jacket, and it's also a windbreaker. So with minimal weight on me, it's like a technical solution to protective clothing. It's like both gear, like equipment that you need to be out in the field, and it's clothing that looks good. That's like how I like it.
Yeah, another thing that we just noted is the importance of having zippers on your pockets, because you do want pants and jackets and clothing with pockets to hold your small items, but they should have zippers on them because you're out, you know, in the wilderness and you don't know when you're going to be back or if anyone else is going to come out here. So the last thing you want to do is lose important items. So it's really important to make sure that they're in zippered pockets. Or another thing is you could add a tether, like this tether that I have on my phone, and this has saved me from losing my phone so many times. It's been super useful. So have something like that, especially for your car keys. Car keys are like number one. Take good care of those.
Without car keys, you're screwed. Like a disaster situation, you gotta get towed out of like deep nature. We had to do that already because of the deer that jumped into our car, so don't lose stuff at all, ever. I had to get out of the teleconverter because it makes it less sharp, and it also is dark now because it bumps your f-stop to like 11, which is crazy. So you can do it only in broad daylight. So now I took it off and I'm putting back the monopod plate. So it got us thinking how meticulous you have to be, and kind of like a neat freak to be able to deal with this much gear in the field all the time, just because you have to use it, right? Otherwise you just can't do it. Here's another thing, you often need tools you don't have. I'm using the car's key rack's key, and that actually fits just perfectly if you hold it the right way.
But yeah, I have a tool to do exactly that, but I put it in the wrong bag, which I didn't bring with me, of course. So that's, you know, one of the problems of using multiple bags. But, you know, as we're discovering, now having our longest telephoto lens, which is at 100 to 400, we're like, well, it doesn't actually fit in our bags. So luckily I have, you know, a lens bag from Think Tank, which is really great, and I have never used it up until now. But that is my justification as to why I kept that thing around along with all my other stuff, because you just never know when you're going to need it. And so, you know, it's not really a good excuse to be a pack rat of sorts, but still, there are things that you might need down the road that might be worth holding on to.
We've been asking ourselves what to make of this region and how to present it, and it's like definitely like a Wild West, but with a more northern characteristic, I guess. Ravens are there.
Oh, but what sound is that? They sound kind of like big chickens.
It's a raven.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
They nest up there. That's so cool.
Yeah, you're getting good shots of this mountain.
I was getting a little starburst because the sun was peeking through, so I was getting you vlogging with the sun and the mountain. But yeah, this is, oh, there it is. Big bird up there.
This is our first day of shooting after the lockdown, out all day like this. And not you know, we drove a lot, we found a place to sleep. We forgot to mention we found our camp. What do you think about our discovery?
I think we're here at the right time of year because everything is like, not everything is green, but you have patches of green that really add some color. Otherwise it would just be kind of brownish yellow, so I think that pop of green is nice. And again, we're actually lucky that it's overcast because that gives us some texture, some clouds to play with that we wouldn't normally have if it wasn't overcast.